This is CBS News New York.
We're going to do everything in our power to make sure we're getting our city back up and running.
Right now at 4 o'clock, an historic storm coming to an end, but the cleanup is just getting started. Nearly 20 inches of snow in Central Park, where those totals put this storm in the record books.
The wet, heavy snow causing trees to come crashing down and damaging cars below in the Bronx and also in Brooklyn, where we're seeing the most damage tonight.
And breaking news, New Jersey Transit just announcing some service is resuming right now, with more expected later today. Meanwhile, Newark Airport sitting empty after hundreds of cancellations. The latest on disruptions to travel and the restrictions still in place. Good afternoon. I'm Jessica Moore.
And I'm Christine Johnson. We hope you've been getting along with your day okay with all of the snow that is surrounding us. It's finally winding down after creeping through our area for more than 24 hours. And we did make history. All-time record snowfall was set in many places, including Islip, which saw more than 29 inches.
Meanwhile, roads are starting to reopen. The travel restrictions in New Jersey lifted at noon. A travel ban in Suffolk County just expired at 3:30. The state of emergency and travel ban in Rockland County is set to lift at 5, but in Mount Vernon, the ban was extended until 6. Here in the city, all schools will be back in person tomorrow. Alternate side parking is also suspended through March 1st.
We have live team coverage for you. Once again, across the tri-state area, our crews are in the Bronx, Central Park, New Jersey, Long Island, and also other locations. But first, let's get to Lonnie Quinn with the latest on the current conditions. And Lonnie, we broke a record.
Yeah, we did break a record in certain spots, not in Central Park, okay? Central Park, we broke into the top 10. I think we're like the 9th biggest ever, but get to Islip, like, Jessica was saying, record out there. So look at this. The flag is still flapping. Winds are still blowing out there. We still have that as a concern. I'll talk about that momentarily, but otherwise, 33, a few leftover flurries in spots around the area. It's not too much of anything. You can see here, wow, lots of green that shows you there's nothing falling on top of that grass. Okay, what we have, of course, there's no visible grass out there. Everybody picked up lots of snow. Let's take a tour. Who's picking up some snow? There's a little bout of some light snow around Pemberton right now. Anything I show you right now is not going to be a significant accumulator to what you've already picked up. And trust me, everybody picked up enough, right? South shore of Nassau County, you got a little bout of light snow that's also moving offshore. Same thing out around Montauk. The bigger picture is going to show you our storm, which yesterday was parked around, well, say just offshore of Delaware. All right, we thought it would be moving to the east of Nantucket. Sure enough, Nantucket's right there. There's your storm. To the east of Nantucket, it took that track. We will be winding down as we push ahead, but the winds, you want to keep your eye on winds that are blowing at 35-mile-per-hour gusts or more. And we have that right now in Bayshore at 36, Bridgeport, Connecticut at 39. That's important because you still have, get this, the snow is basically done, but you still have a blizzard warning in effect until about 6 p.m. Now, we have been trimming this off all day, and we're going to trim some more counties off. The last to be dropped will be the east end of Long Island. If you get quarter-mile visibility and those wind gusts of 35 miles per hour for a period of about 3 hours, yep, you can get a blizzard without having falling snow because that wind can actually scoop up the snow that just fell and obscure your visibility that way. All right, let's show you how much we picked up in the park. 19.7, the 9th biggest ever. You talked about the record in Islip. Islip picking up 29.1 inches. The big number on the board, Babylon, New York, coming in 29.5, and right down the list. Everybody, I don't care if you're in Connecticut, New York, wherever, you were picking up big snow out of this storm. Less as you went up by the ski areas, ironically, about like 6 inches or so. But that's the latest, ladies. What I'm concerned about now, temperatures for everybody are dropping below freezing overnight. All that slush you guys were walking through today,
It's going to freeze.
Freeze right up.
That's
Watch out for some freezing, especially during the overnight and your day tomorrow. And in fact, a lot of folks tomorrow don't get above freezing at all. But there is a warm-up out there. Sit tight on that.
That's good. Thank you, Lonnie.
Well, that's probably why this hazardous travel advisory remains in place through midnight tonight here in the city.
Lisa Rosder is in our First Alert weather tracker with a look at how the roads are doing in Queens. Lisa.
Well, Jessica and Christine, we are in Whitestone right now. The street we are on, a major thoroughfare here. This is 147th Street, and we are about to turn onto 8th Avenue, but actually, this is one of the side streets we wanted to turn on. It's two ways, but there's a car trying to leave, so we actually have to go to the next side street because these streets are so narrow. It is hard to get around. Two-lane streets are turning basically into one-way roads. So here we are turning down this street, and I mean, just take a look at the cars on both sides of the road here. Some people have not come out understandably, to dig out their cars, yet others have. You can see sanitation has done a decent job here, though, making room for at least one car to get through at a time. Our first alert weather team says Whitestone received almost 2 feet of snow, 21.5 inches. Earlier, the Department of Sanitation said it plowed over 99.5% of city streets at least once. Now, getting here, we came up the West Side Highway from Midtown, where we experienced ponding. Coming over the Whitestone Bridge, it was very poor visibility. You could not see the Manhattan skyline. The mayor says there are 2,600 sanitation workers on 12-hour shifts, but as you can see here, it will take time for them to get to every street.
Accumulated snowfall and refreezing have made it hazardous to travel. If you can, remain indoors. If you must leave your home, please rely on public transit.
And how is it getting from Queens to Manhattan?
It's really hard.
Tell me why. What did you see?
The snow is very bad and this road is not clear, that's why.
So how were you traveling really slow?
Yes.
Sanitation is also working on clearing out bus stops. We saw people practically waiting in the street on 10th Avenue near 48th Street. Buses are running, but some have gotten stuck. And if you take the subway, expect delays, according to the MTA. Now, back here live, now we are on 8th Avenue. This is the street I was telling you about. That is technically a two-way street, but looks more like a one-way street right now. You can see people are shoveling, starting to attempt to get out of their driveways, but the rest of the street here looks almost untouched. We're live in Whitestone, Queens. Lisa Rosner, CBS News, New York.
So thank you. The storm is causing dangerous driving conditions all over the city. One of our crews captured this video approaching the Lincoln Tunnel in New Jersey. For the most part, roads were still covered with snow, even with plows working overtime to stay ahead of the storm. Drivers across the region are being advised to stay off the roads to avoid getting stuck or, worse, getting into an accident. And even though the travel ban in New Jersey has been lifted, you can see it's still not safe to be out on the roads.
Yeah, some of those roads still dangerous, especially the secondary ones. And then also in New Jersey, the public transportation not an option, with most of NJ Transit service still suspended. So let's go to Nick Calloway. He is in Ridgewood with more on the conditions there. But Nick, I know that Ridgewood train station there is very busy on Mondays. It's a ghost town over there today.
Usually on a Monday, it would be very busy. The lot is empty right now. Crews are working to clear the platforms. You might be able to hear them in the background with those snowblowers. Right now, the roads at the moment are sort of a mixed bag. Behind me here, this is North Broad Street here in Ridgewood, and you can see there's still a lot of slush, a lot of snow, a lot of ice, and yes, they are still very slick at the moment. Now, a little earlier, we were over on Route 17, and we saw a massive improvement in the driving conditions there. The plows were running around the clock, clearing snow and salting. Now, that is a big upgrade from just a few hours ago, and especially over this morning. On the local streets, Ridgewood road crews were also working around the clock to get the snow cleaned up. Snowplow drivers told me anywhere between a foot and a foot and a half of snow fell here, and officials say it'll take days, not hours, to get it all cleaned up.
This one was tougher than the one that we had last week, putting aside that now we have to put more snow on top of the snow that we had. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago. But it's a heavy, wet snow. The other one was fluffier, lighter, easier to push, easier to plow. We've got about 40 trucks out right now, clearing everything. It's much harder.
Terrible, really terrible. You shouldn't be out on the road unless you know what you're doing. And I see some of these people drive like there's no snow, you know, and they're crazy.
New Jersey Transit service has been suspended all day. Just a few minutes ago, we learned that the Newark Light Rail and River Line is now resuming on a Sunday schedule, and the Hudson Bergen Light Rail will resume on a weekend schedule starting at 6 p.m. All rail, bus, and access link services will remain suspended until conditions improve, I should say. All around, a really good day just to stay indoors. I will say my kids are still at home, and they are still in their pajamas, and I can't say that I blame them. We're live in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Nick Calloway, CBS News, New York.
No, we can't blame him. And it is good to hear slow but steady progress on getting that mass transit back up and running. Thank you, Nick.
Well, we all expected it, and it happened. And right now at this hour, the storm is still causing power problems across the area.
Yeah, JCP&L reports nearly 58,500 outages. PSE&G Long Island has more than 11,600. Con Edison, more than 3,700 outages. PSE&G has just over 2,550. And Orange and Rockland reports 116. Another reason to stay home, most public transportation is not running as crews work to remove the snow and de-ice those rails. The Long Island Railroad says service will remain suspended until weather conditions improve.
And then over at Metro North, they say that it's running on a reduced schedule on the Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven lines. And then west of Hudson service on the Port Jervis and Pascack Valley lines is suspended.
And as Nick mentioned earlier, NJ Transit resumed service for only the Newark Light Rail and River line, but on a Sunday schedule. The Hudson Bergen Light Rail will resume on a weekend schedule starting at 6 p.m. All rail, bus, and Access Link services remain suspended.
If you had flights anywhere along the East Coast, you've been dealing with a nightmare. More than 10,000 flights have been canceled nationwide through tomorrow.
In our area, there have been 1,000 cancellations at Newark Airport. JFK has seen the most with 1,100 cancellations, and LaGuardia has seen just over 1,000. More than 1,700 flights have been canceled for tomorrow already when airlines are hoping to resume service in some areas. And as we mentioned, parts of Long Island saw nearly 30 inches of snow.
I think they would take the trophy when it came to snowfall amounts and also just the wind out there. Yeah. Now the massive cleanup operation begins. So let's check in with Jenna DeAngelis. She's live in Babylon with more on the current conditions. Jenna, are people starting to get back to life?
Yes, Christine and Jessica, there are a lot of people out here clearing. You know, when we spoke with a neighbor and shared snow totals from our weather team, 29.5 inches here, a man who was shoveling and was exhausted said, you know what? I am not surprised. He gave kudos to the crews for clearing the streets here in the neighborhood. It looks really great, but of course, you know what happens when you clear the streets and the sidewalks? You got these big mounds of snow that I'm going to try not to trip over. Now, I have to say, inconvenience, of course, for people. We never want to see these, but look at these kids. They love the snow. Kids, what do you think of the snow?
Yeah. Amazing.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
You gotta love being a kid in the snow. Makes the best memories out here. I do want to draw your attention to some video we shot earlier in Central Islip. When we were driving around on the roads, we did see cars stuck. It does prove that there are many roads that are still not cleared and not safe, dangerous to drive. So if you can, of course, stay home. Now, you mentioned, Christine and Jessica, are people out clearing? Yes, they are. We saw people out here in Babylon with their shovels and their snow blowers. We even saw two teenage sisters who were out helping their older neighbor. Take a listen.
We saw her shoveling, and you know, we can't just look at her and not do it. So we decided to help and just do a good deed.
It feels good because it gives you like a good feeling knowing that like you're helping someone out. Cause like it feels like I feel bad for her because obviously I don't want her doing it all by herself.
We love to see that, neighbors helping neighbors, which is exactly what we're seeing in this neighborhood. Again, they got a lot of snow, but they are handling it. We're live in Babylon, Long Island. Jenna DeAngelis, CBS News, New York.
I liked your hat. GOAT. They are definitely greatest of all time out there helping their elderly neighbor. We love to see that, Jenna. Thank you.
And also clearing those fire hydrants, too, which is so important right now.
That's right.
Our live team coverage continues next.
A live look from Central Park, where more than 19 inches of snow was recorded. Alice Gaynor spoke with New Yorkers who spent the day frolicking in this winter wonderland. We'll have a live report coming up.